I'm at the Glacier Gorge Trailhead in Rocky Mountain National Park. It's about an hour before sunrise. Today I'm going for Sky Pond with a brief stop at the lock for the sunrise. Hopefully it's an epic one. The wind is howling. It's a full moon. There are clouds right now, but the clouds are supposed to be gone by sunrise, but hopefully they stick around. Let's go hiking. Sun is beginning to come up. I'm a couple of minutes away from the lock, and looks like all the clouds are disappearing, so I don't think it's going to be a great sunrise, but we're going to stick around just in case something magical happens. The hike in the dark's actually been pretty pleasant. I took the fire trail to bypass a half mile. The last 3 times I've been here in the winter this year, the snow was covering the trail, so I had to break trail every time. It's all packed down now, which is very nice. Made it to the lock, and the winds are probably 30-mile-an-hour gusts right now. So it's time to bundle up. And get the camera ready in case something cool happens. Pretty fucking windy. Using a pencil so my hands don't freeze. Not a bad place to camp. Yeah, I'm not sure how legal that is. Junction for Andrews Creek, Andrews Tarn campsite. Probably got a little less than a mile to go until we get to the waterfall. Timberland Falls. I did attempt this 2 weeks ago, and it was pitch black out, unlike today with the full moon, and I failed to make it up the waterfall. I took a pretty nasty spill. My micro spikes are like completely flat, so I went out and bought new micro spikes, and hopefully today, with the sun out, I can navigate my way safely up and down, which is going to be the harder part, the waterfall. Steepest part of the hike. Nothing's really easy from here until we get to Lake of Glass, if we get to Lake of Glass.
For some reason, my Rode microphone mysteriously turned off by itself. So I'm going to have to walk you through this. Here we are at Timberland Falls, and to the right there's a climber that has the proper gear. He has crampons and a ice axe that actually goes through ice. I'm not going up the waterfall. I already tried that 2 weeks ago and it didn't work out too well for me. So I'm going to go off to the left about 10 feet and there's a little chute that you can climb up. It's not a crazy move. It does require using both hands and both feet, at least for me anyway. If I had to rate the difficulty of this move, it's harder than anything you do in the summer when going up to the right of the waterfall, if that makes any sense. But here I'm just using some handholds, not really needed yet. Here's the part where I had to lift myself up. Looking over at the drainage, I didn't want to go up that route, so this is the last obstacle that you really have to do to get up to Lake of Glass, and this is about 20 feet of some pretty steep, it's a pretty steep slope. If you were to lose your footing, you would slide all the way down to the bottom if you didn't self-arrest with an ice axe. Ice axe is not completely necessary, but I felt much safer ascending the slope this way in the snow, especially since I do not have any mountaineering crampons. I just had these micro spikes on. And I'm just speeding this up because it's kind of redundant for, the next, it took me about a couple minutes to get up doing this. And it was definitely more sketchy, in my opinion, going down. But I did make it down, obviously, or I wouldn't be making this video right now. Here we are at the Lake of Glass, and this was the windiest of all three lakes all day by far. It was pretty bad here, probably 30-40 mile an hour gusts and about 20 mile an hour sustained, I would guess. But one plus about doing this hike in the winter is usually you can walk right across the lake, which saves some time. And at the Lake of Glass Inlet, I stepped on some snow and my foot actually went right into the water, about knee deep in water. So that was awesome. Be careful if you're hiking around here. I didn't think there would be anything left that's not frozen, but there definitely is. And right here we made it to Sky Pond, and I remembered to turn my sound back on. Hiking this in winter, there's definitely some spots where snowshoes would have been helpful, but I would have been taking them off and putting them back on several times, so I would rather just post hole waist deep, which I did do a couple times in between Lake of Glass and Sky Pond, and actually right near the pond shoreline I post holed pretty bad, but once I got onto the lake, it was all good.
All right, gonna take the thumbnail real quick. Taking a couple photos, and I'm gonna head back down because my left foot is still getting a little cold from sinking into the water. Who'd have thunk that there'd be water up here? But make it back down to the trailhead nice and safely.